We last ended in July of 2024, where I called it quits and had to figure out a plan on how to get the body off the chassis. Now, December 2024, we have a plan. But first, we need to move the Beetle. Pushing the Beetle around was becoming tedious and really annoying, so I decided to move to some more unconventional ways of moving it. By shrinking the Beetle down, it became very easy to move. However, in this state, it is very vulnerable to larger predators, so I had to make sure to get it back to its original size quick. On a side note, shout out to my dad who made a model of the Beetle. You probably saw it at the end of the last video. So, recently I pulled the trigger and got the Beetle birth certificate, which is really cool. And it comes in a really nice envelope. But this has all the information on the car the day it left the factory. So I was able to learn, for example, that it was actually imported here to New York, as well as that its manufacturing date was November 17th, 1966. So I now have its original date of manufacturing, which is the new goal. I want to get this Beetle up and running before its 60th birthday, and I think that's doable. So I think it's time to get some more work done. Before taking the body off, I sprayed some penetrating oil on the fender bolts so that it had time to sit before I took them off. So, how is this time going to be different than last? Well, I have a plan. The plan is simple. Seeing as I cannot lift it from the rear quarter panel or bumper, I'm going to use a winch to raise it from the roof. Sounds easy enough. Well, only if it was that easy. There actually ended up not being enough travel to even lift the body off of the chassis. Well, there goes the first plan. But don't worry, me and my dad quickly scrounged up a second plan. A better plan. Seeing as we needed more travel, we would move the winch to the back of the Beetle, while using a jack to raise it from the front. This plan was going really well, until I realized I forgot to disconnect the Z-bar on the driver's side. This is what happens when you take months to continue a project. However, after removing this, the body came off of the chassis flawlessly. If you're curious on why there's no audio in this section, it's because I got a brand new microphone for my camera, but I forgot to turn it on. Definitely a lesson learned, and hopefully there aren't too many clips without audio in the future. Now that there's some space between the body and the chassis, it's easy to see what is left connecting the two. I was able to see that the cable going from the battery to the starter was still connected, as well as some miscellaneous parts. I honestly forgot what cable I cut here, but I'm assuming it's not important and I'm probably replacing the whole wiring harness anyway. I forgot to turn on the mic this whole time.
Still got more lift. I'm worried about it getting too wobbly.
With the Beetle body fully off the chassis, we can slide the chassis out the back. Okay. You can slowly start putting it down now. You're good? Okay. Psych. Never mind, we're good. Alright, keep just going a little slow. The only obstacle remaining was the front beam, so by lowering the front end of the Beetle, we are able to slide out the chassis the rest of the way. Perfect.
Has the right amount of rust to just go.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, like the rear apron is like, oh, you can go.
Thank you, let's go.
Yes! Now with the chassis fully visible, we can see it needs a complete overhaul. But before that, I'm going to strip the body. I first started with the front fenders, but to do that, I had to take out the headlights, as well as the turn signal indicators. Now, I knew these fenders were rusty, but I wasn't expecting the whole headlight bowl to come out with the headlight. This is not how I planned it to go, but it's out. Oh my god. That's crazy. That's not being saved. Yep, that's a lot of rust. With both headlights off of the Beetle, it didn't look too good. It looked like it was demented and crying.
They took my fucking eyes.
You can see the tears too, like it feels like it's fucking crying down. Don't worry, Beetle, it'll only get better from here. But now, I can take off the front fenders. But not like this. Yeah.
It's a razor thing. Why'd the socket come off now?
Well, because the socket's stuck on the bolt.
Oh. Is the bolt stuck in the car?
I think so. You might want to lower it a little bit, though. Finally. Sadly, some of the nuts in the body actually spun, so I couldn't undo the bolts. Yeah, that one's an issue. But more work would have to wait for another day. Now, between work, travel, and family events, I didn't really have that much sunlight each day. So, during the day, I would take some parts off, and then at night, I would clean and pack them. Oh my god. Similar to the front fenders, I put some penetrating oil on the bolts, and then started by taking off the taillights. Another day, more fender bolts, but we can skip past this. Next up on the agenda is to remove the whole rear end. Now, this doesn't only include the rear fenders, but also the deck lid and the rear bumper. So, I'm taking the deck lid off for two reasons. Number one, it's actually in really good shape, so I don't want to let it sit outside and get rusted out. And that's because option two, or reason two, this is a 1 year only deck lid, so I want to save it so I don't have to spend a lot of money. Now, as shot as this rear bumper is, the overriders are a 1 year only, so I need to save them, at least until I figure out what I'm doing. I'm either going to get these re-chromed or buy brand new, and that's just a later issue.
Any good news?
One of them is broken off. Well, as in it's free, I guess, for the fender.
I wonder how you solve that problem when you're reassembling it. Do you cut out a patch and weld in a new one with a nut?
Well, we're gonna figure that out, I guess, later. Because I have no idea. That is the first bolt I've gotten out since I started working on this again. Either it broke, or it's coming out. Aha! Yeah, so every single one that's left is stripped from the inside.
Sadly, a lot of the fender bolts have ripped holes in the body, which is going to be a later issue, which is most of the story for this car. However, with some bad news, there's also some good news.
Cause like, it's fucking loud.
It's a horn!
Well, it's the only thing that works after 30 years of it sitting in the woods, like...
You have to enjoy the little successes, and this was one of them.
Now, I don't want to do the impact anymore, because I think that's what's stripping I guess like the welded in threads that are on the body side. Because I've already done that to like 4 of them on the other side. So I think I just have to stick with doing them by hand and suffering. It's coming out though, I think. Actually, I don't think it's coming out at all. So, at some point in this car's life, it got old, like $99 paint jobs or whatever. I was talking to my dad about it. I was always confused on why the seals were painted. Like this seal for the bumper as well as this seal from the body to the fender. And it's probably just because they just painted over the whole car. Not only that, but the bumper brackets are also painted the same color, which they're not supposed to be. Oh shit, is that me? Well, that was a valiant effort by me, but I've now fully broken. Yeah, that ain't fucking going off. Damn it. I may just be able to rip that side off if I can get the rest of it off. Let's get some more workspace. All right. Oh my God. Let me re-angle this camera for this one. I don't know if you can see it that well. Holy shit. Ah. Oh, there goes the bumper bracket. Holy shit. Oh my God, that is funny.
Now that both rear fenders are off, we can move to the rear apron. The spot welds on each side have been rusted off, but the 2 beads that are on the top as well as the spot welds on the inside need to be cut off.
Oh, okay, yes.
Ta-da!
Yeah, that is toast.
Now, I thought this was going to be a cool shot, but I forgot I never cleaned the car, so you can't even see through the window. With the whole rear end completely disassembled, I started to move my way to the front of the car, first by taking out the wiring harness as I moved up. And once I was under the hood, I started taking things out like crazy. First up was the audio system. One of these things being a radio exclusively made for Toyota, which I would not be needing for the future.
It is getting colder and colder. Whew. Oh, I got some change in here. I forgot about that. Ugh. Nice. Okay. ignition out. Speedometer cable out. It's like a... Oh. Interesting. Two. Go off the wiring there. Okay. I was gonna do a nice little, like, I don't know, like a gag, where I took all this and ripped it out at once, but I don't think I'm gonna do that because of how utterly annoying this has been. I just want it to be out.
Don't worry, Ryan. With some post-editing magic, we can remove it right away.
Alright, I have to... Okay, whatever.
It's okay to get frustrated, and okay, it's nighttime.
Sometimes I get motivation, okay? And I need to just do stuff when I have the motivation. Ah, there we go. It was just the gasket. Okay. That makes me feel better.
Now, some of you might be saying, Ryan, isn't doing this at night making horrendous lighting for the video? And to that I say, the gas gauge works.
Ding! That is awesome. Yes. I'm hoping I can save that. I think I will. That screwdriver's not even thin enough, and you're probably not even seeing what I'm doing because I'm blocking.
The steering wheel was hard to take off, so I decided to take out just the whole steering column, which is what I should have started with.
So now, I can just do ooga booga. Ooga booga, ooga booga. Is there like a rubber bushing in there? Probably. Ooga booga, ooga booga. Ooga booga.
What did they say to Nemo when they're doing the...
Fish bait! Muhaha!
Welcome, brother Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh-ha-ha!
Fish bait! Muhaha! Fish bait! Muhaha!
Enough of the Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh, bop, ba-doo.
Seeing that the steering shaft flange wouldn't come off of the column, I decided to move on to other items, such as this 30-year-old windshield wiper fluid. This steering shaft flange was not coming out, so I ended up taking out the whole steering wheel assembly just to get it out.
Good. Last of the wiring. Out. There we go. Wow. Ah, come on. There we
The last thing I'm removing on the Beetle before it goes into storage are the heater hoses. Now, I could remove more, but at this point, I don't think it's necessary, so I'm just going to clean it up and try to move it as safely as possible. Don't worry, this is just the setup. The final product is going to be way safer. At this point, I look skeptical, which is appropriate due to the sketchy situation, but I just blamed it on the flat tire.
That's just because of the flat, probably.
I feel like I have to say this, but don't try this at home. The only reason I did this was to get the body above the wheels.
That's it's way higher now. Question is, how well do you think this is going to go?
It was at this point I thought my sketchy plan may actually work, but there was a small hiccup. I braked a little too hard, causing the whole Beetle to shift.
Everything shifted.
Oh! You want to know what caught it? It was the 1 2x4 that I did the whole thing. Caught it.
The Beetle may have still been on the trailer, but that wasn't the end of my problems.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, I got it on video. Uh-oh. The load moved too far forward. I have zero traction now.
Because the Beetle moved to the rear of the trailer, the weight distribution was off. There was too much weight behind the rear axle, causing the tractor to not get enough traction. The best way to solve this was to add more weight.
What are you thinking about standing there? Are you okay?
Once again, shout out to my dad for helping me out. Until I finish all of my work on the chassis, this Beetle is going to be sitting in my backyard, waiting for its section of the restoration process. So, I guess it's time to get started on the chassis.
I'm guessing some water got in previously, because it's a nice rusty, watery slurry in there.